Hello everyone, welcome to the next lecture on the complex analysis. Today I will explain you the concept of the singularities through the various numerical examples. Myself Dr. Harishkar, you can follow and subscribe my YouTube channel where you can find the playlist of the complex analysis. In this playlist you can see the various lectures related to the topic wise and the previous year PY question series of the CSR net and the GATE examinations. You can follow and watch all these lectures to learn the concept deeply. What is the objective of this lecture? We will see how we can classify the various kind of the singularities and demonstrate it with the help of the numerical example. Now, first of all, if you look about the behavior of all these functions about the point z is equal to 0, what you have observed, clearly say at the point z is equal to 0, none of these functions are well defined, because clearly say this value will goes to the infinity. This is my 0 over 0 form. Again it is a 0 by 0 form. This value will goes to the infinity and so on. That means all these functions are not analytic at the point z is equal to 0. Or in other word, you can say if I consider the point z is equal to 0, but if you look about any of the neighborhood around the point 0, like say this value is my 0.001, if I consider the point 0.001, then you can see all these functions are well defined. Why it's a well defined? Because the function values at the point 0.001 is my finite. That means it is my well defined. Or in other word, you can say in every neighborhood of the point 0, there is a point at which the function is analytic. Fine. Now, what we have observed from these observations, we will observe the point is singular point. Singular point means the functions or the point at which the function is not analytic. For example, clearly say if I consider the point is function is f of z is 1 over z minus 2, clearly say the singular point is my z is equal to 2. Why? Because what is the value of the f of 2? It is my infinity. That means the function is not analytic. In simple, you can simply observe the values of the function at the given point. If this is my infinity or it is not defined, then you can say this is my singular point. The formal definition of the singular point is any point z0 is said to be the singular point if the function is not analytic at the point, and if you consider the z0, if you consider any of the neighborhood of the z0, then it consists of at least one point at which the function is analytic. For example, again I consider same example z minus 2. Clearly say the value is 2, the function is not analytic at the point 2. If you consider the neighborhood, any neighborhood at least one point, say this point is my 1.9, so clearly say the function value is my 1.9 is my finite. That means it is my well defined. That means the function is analytic at the point 1.9. Hence the z is equal to 2 is my singular point. More examples, clearly say the first function e raised to power z minus 1 over z. What is the value at the z is equal to 0? It's a 0 over 0 form. So once it's a 0 by 0 form, that means it is my not defined. Similarly, you can see 1 over z raised to power 7. At the point z is equal to 0, it is infinity. That's a not defined. But if you consider the neighborhood of the 0, any point in the neighborhood, all these functions are well defined. Hence, z is equal to 0 is my singular point of this function. Another example is if you consider the complex conjugate real part, imaginary parts, these are not analytic. Why? Because you can see the Cauchy-Riemann equations are not satisfied. But make sure students, if they are nowhere analytic, it doesn't imply that every point is my singularity. There is a difference in their concepts. Once you can identify that there is a singularities, we can classify into the two category. One is isolated, second is a non-isolated. Any singular point is said to be the isolated. Make sure students, it must be the singular point. It must be the singular point. Any singular point is said to be the isolated singularity if you can find the neighborhood of the point z0 and the function is analytic at each point. You can see there is a difference between the definition of the singular point. In this case, there is at least one point at which the function is analytic, while in case of the isolated singularity, f is analytic at each point of the neighborhood. If I consider the example is say 1 over z minus 1, clearly say the function, the point 1, the function is not analytic at the z is equal to 1. If you consider the neighborhood, any neighborhood, you can see any point in this neighborhood apart from the z is equal to 1, the function is well defined. Or you can say the function is analytic in the neighborhood z minus z0. For examples, clearly say sin z over z. The function is not analytic at the point z is equal to 0. Fine. The function is not analytic about the point z0. But if you consider the neighborhood, you can clearly say any point in the neighborhood, the function is my well defined. Therefore, in this case, z is equal to 0 is my isolated singularity. Similarly, z square 1 over z square, clearly say z is equal to 0 is function is not analytic, but if you taken as the neighborhood, the function is well defined. Hence, all these examples are considered corresponding to the isolated singularity. सिंपल शब्दों में किसी भी पॉइंट को आइसोलेटेड सिंगुलैरिटी तब कहा जाएगा अगर आपने इसका एक सिंगुलर पॉइंट निकाल लिया और उसके नेबरहुड में हर एक पॉइंट पे वो फंक्शन की वैल्यू वेल डिफाइंड होनी चाहिए. अगेन 1 over z minus 1, z minus 3, clearly say the function is not defined at the point 1 and at the point 3. And if I consider the neighborhood for the small r, consider the small neighborhood, every point in this neighborhood, the function is my well defined. Similarly, for this neighborhood, the function is well defined. So therefore, the two singular points are my 1 and 3. On the other hand, the non-isolated singularities, all those points where the function is not isolated. That means if the function is not analytic at the point z is equal to 0, z0, fine, and in the neighborhood of the point there exists at least one point. There exists at least one point where the function is not analytic. Why? Because you can see the definition of the isolated singularity. The f is analytic at each point when it is not isolated. If in the neighborhood of the z0 there exists at least one point where the function is not analytic. For example, sin 1 over sin pi z log z are the non-isolated singularities. Why? You can see the function 1 over sin is not analytic. At which point? The function is not analytic when the function will goes to the infinity. That means all those points where sin 1 over z will be my 0. So can you find the value of the z? That means 1 over z is my n pi, where n is my integers. That implies z is equal to 1 over n pi. Or you can say for the different value of the n, it is 1 over pi, 1 over 2 pi, 1 over 3 pi, and so on. And when n is infinity, it is my 0. These are the points of the singularity. But z is equal to 0 is a non-isolated singularity. Why? You can see this is the point of the z0. This is the value of the 1 over pi. This is the value of the 1 over 2 pi. This is the value of the 1 over 3 pi, and so on. And if you consider the small neighborhood of around the point 0, definitely this neighborhood will contain the other singularity as 1 over n pi. Whenever n is large, so it consists of the infinitely many other singularities. So once they are singularities, the function is not analytic. So hence, z is equal to 0 is the point of the non-isolated singularity. Another example of the non-isolated is log of z. If you consider the neighborhood of the z0, what does it implies? It consists of the negative values on the real axis. That means if we consider the negative real axis, therefore the log of z is not analytic. Remember student, this is the first method you can check about the non-isolated singularities. I will tell you the second method also after this lecture when I will upload the concept of the limit point of the zeros and limit point of the pole. Fine. इसके बाद मैं एक और लेक्चर अपलोड करूंगा by using the concept of the limit point of the zero and the limit point of the pole to define whether they are non-isolated or isolated singularity. Now, once you have proved that the function has a isolated singularity, that means the function is analytic in the neighborhood. Once the function is analytic in the neighborhood, we can expand the series, we can expand the function in terms of the Lorentz series. And the Lorentz series, as I mentioned you in my previous lectures of the Lorentz series, what is the component of the Bn, which consists of the negative power of the n called as the principal part. And if you open this series, it will be B1 over Z minus Z0 plus B2 over Z minus Z0 square and so on. And the first coefficient B1 play a very crucial role in the complex analysis and known as the residue of the function. I will explain you the residue of the function, the full detail in our next lectures. Now, I hope you can like and comment on this video. Now, how you can classify the various kind of these singularities? For that, if you closely look about these given functions, or you can see the given three examples, what you have observed from these three examples. In the first example, you can see there is no term involvement of the 1 over z raised to power n because all are my positive terms. In the second example, you can see it consists of the finite number of the terms. It consists of the finite terms of the 1 over zn. And in the last example, you can see it has the infinitely many terms of the 1 over zn term. Now, based on these three natures, we can classify the singularities in terms of the removable, pole, and the essential singularity. Removable singularity means when there does not exist any of the negative power of the Zn. Pole means when it consists of the finite number of the terms, and essential singularity means when it consists of the infinitely many terms of the negative power of the Z. I will explain you with the help of the numerous example in this lecture. But remember students, if you are in the competition examinations like of the CSIR NET, GATE and other examinations, what you can do, you can identify the limit of the fz at the point z is equal to 0, compute its limit and check the nature, whether the limit is infinite, whether the limit is finite, or whether the limit does not exist. Based on this nature, does not exist. Based on this nature, we can classify the removable, pole and essentials. Whenever it is infinity, we call as the pole. Whenever it is finite, we call as the removable. Whenever it does not exist, we call as the essential singularity. जब भी आप CSIR नेट और गेट के और किसी भी कंपटीशन एग्जाम की बात करो, इस शॉर्टकट ट्रिक से सॉल्व करिए, आपका आंसर क्विकली आएगा. For more details, I already explained you with the help of the shortcut tricks. You can watch my this lecture under the channel name Dr. Harish Garg. Now, let's start with the numerical example, how you can solve all these singularities in a simple manner. Firstly, I can tell you how you can solve this problem in your competition exam. Your target is to check about the pole. That means your target is to prove the limit is by infinity at the point z is equal to 0 and at the point z is equal to 1. So can you find the limit at the point z is equal to 0 of fz, which comes to be infinity? Also, the limit at z is equal to 1 of the fz, clearly say this is my infinity. What does it implies? This implies this is my pole. This is the way you can get in your competition examination. But how you can check about in the theory class? This is my z is equal to 0. Fine. Apart from the z0, you can see my function 1 over z minus 1. If I consider the neighborhood, you can see every point in this neighborhood, this value is my finite. Fine. So I can consider the function f of z about the point 0 is say g of z, where g of z I can taken as z minus 1. Clearly say this function is my analytic, fine, and the value of the g0 is my non-zero at the point z is equal to 0. Therefore, the function is my simple pole, or the point is my simple pole. Similarly, for the case of the z is equal to 1, if I consider z is 1, if I consider the neighborhood, then clearly say 1 over z is my finite answer in the neighborhood of the z0, z is equal to 1. So I can see f of z is my, I call as a h of z divided by z minus 1, where h of z is my 1 over z. Fine. So you can see this function is my analytic, and the value of the h of 1 is my non-zero. Therefore, the function or the point is my simple pole. Look at the next one. Now, first of all, I will give you the tips how you can find the singularities of the nature. Always remember, if you are able to expand the series, if you are able to expand any of the series are like of the cos of z, series are like of the sine of z, series are like of the exponential of the x, and so on, then you can expand. Otherwise, if you are unable to expand the series, then find the denominator as a 0, put the denominator as a 0, find the value of the z. ओके, जब भी आपको सिंगुलरिटीज निकालनी हो, सिर्फ ये दो अप्रोच को अडॉप्ट करिए. अगर तो आप सीरीज को एक्सपेंड कर सकते हो, लाइक cos z, sin z एंड so on, you can expand the series. Otherwise, if you are unable to expand the series, put the denominator as a 0, find the value of the z. Now, look at the first example. The first example is, firstly check whether there is any singularity or not. Clearly say what is the value of the f of 0. The function is not defined because it's a sign of infinity. The function is not defined. This implies z is equal to 0 is my singularity. Not defined means the function value is my not unique. Why? Because sign of infinity, but the value sign infinity lies between -1 to +1. So that means it is not a unique. So once it's not a unique, the function is not analytic, and hence it has the singularity. Now can you expand the series of the sine of a? This will be a minus a cube over 3 factorial, a5 over 5 factorial, and so on. So I can expand this series. Once you can expand the series, try to identify the nature of the z raised to power n. Whether it involves the finite number of the terms, or whether it involves the infinite number of the terms, or whether it involves no terms of the 1 raised to power z n. If you closely look about that, it involves the infinitely number of the terms. Once it involves the infinite number of terms, you can see it is a z raised to power n. That means z is equal to 0 is my essential singularities of the function. Look at the second example. Again, it is possible you can expand the series. What is the expansion of the e raised to power x? It is 1 plus x square over 2 factorial, and so on. I can expand the series this manner. I can open this bracket. It is 1 over z square, 1 over z cube, and so on. Again, try to analyze the nature of the z raised to power n. You can see it involves square, cube, 4, 5, 6, and so on. It involvement of the infinitely many terms of the negative power of the z. That means z is equal to 0 is my essential singularity. Moreover, if you are in the competition exam, you can also see at the limit z approaches 0 of the fz, the limit does not exist. So once the limit does not exist, we can also say this is my essential singularity. Look at this next example. Clearly say my function is 1 over z minus a whole square e raised to power z minus a. I can easily expand the series of the e raised to power z minus a. So I can open the series. I can open the bracket z minus a whole square plus 1 over z minus a plus z minus a over 2 factorial, and so on. Now can you analyze the nature of the z minus a raised to power n? Is it a finite terms, infinite? Clearly say it involvement of the finite terms. So once it is my finite terms, what does it implies? This implies z is equal to a is my pole. And what is the highest power of the negative term? 2. So this is my pole of order 2 because it involvement of the finite number of the negative powers. I hope you can like and comment on this video as well. Can you expand the series? Yes, you can easily expand the series. So I can write as a sine of minus 1 over z minus a cube over 3 factorial plus raised to power 5 over 5 factorial and so on. How many terms of the 1 over z minus a? Clearly say it has infinitely many terms. Hence, z is equal to a. Involvement is my infinite terms. This implies z is equal to a is my essential singularity. Moreover, you can also see the limit z approaches a of sine 1 over z minus a. So, limit does not exist. So once the limit does not exist, it is an essential singularity. This is the way you can check your answer in advance, or once you are in the competition examination, you can check about this answer quickly. Okay, look at this another one. Again, my function is sine z minus a divided by z minus a raised to power 4. Clearly say I can easily expand the series of the sine z minus a, so I can expand the series. I can open this bracket. It is 1 minus z raised to power cube minus 1 over 3 factorial z minus a plus 1 over 5 factorial z minus a and so on. Now you can analyze the nature of the z minus a raised to power n and clearly say it involvement the finite terms. Once it involvement the finite terms, we can say this is my pole. And what is the pole is? 3. Therefore, z is equal to a is the pole of order 3. How you can check about in the shortcut tricks? You can check about the limit z approaches a of the fz and you can see the answer is my infinity. Look at this another one. Discuss the singularity of this function and firstly check whether this is a singularity or not. How you can say the singularity? If this answer is my infinity, then it is a singularity. We can see it is 1 e raised to power 2 pi iota and clearly say this is 1 over 1 minus it's an infinity. Yes, z is equal to 2 pi iota is my singularity. And once it's a singularity, how you can identify whether it's a pole or essential or removable? Now, if you try to expand the series of the e raised to power z, what will happen? 1 plus z plus z square over 2 factorial and so on. So this implies z and so on. फाइन, लेकिन इससे तो कुछ आपको मिलेगा ही नहीं, आपको तो टर्म चाहिए z रेज़ टू पावर n सिंगल z, बट यहाँ तो कुछ नहीं मिला आपको अभी. फाइन, so it is not easy, it is not an easy target for you that you can expand the series. Otherwise, if you want to expand, there is no issue. I can take the z is common. It is z over 2 factorial, z square over 3 factorial and so on. And then you can expand by using the binomial series. Fine. You can expand using the binomial series and then you can try to analyze the nature at z is equal to 2 pi iota. But the best way I can tell you, the second way, you can put the denominator as a 0. That is called as the pole of the fz. You can substitute the denominator value as my 0. Fine. Can you find the value of the z? E raised to power z is my 1. What is the value of the 1 corresponding to the z? 2n pi iota. The value of the z is my 2n pi iota, where n is my positive integers. Fine. Now I need the values at only 2 pi iota. What does it mean? Corresponding to the n is equal to 1, at n is equal to 1, z is my 2 pi iota is the pole of order 1. Or you can simply call as a simple pole. Pole of order 1 is called as the simple pole. Okay, look at these singularities at z is equal to a. Clearly say f of a is my infinity, f of infinity is not defined. So both are my singularities. First of all, it's a quote. So I can write as a cos and sine series. You can expand the series of the cosine. You can expand the series of the sine. But because I need only as a denominator part is a positive quantity, so I can put the second method. Pole of the fz is my denominator part is my 0. This implies z minus a whole square is my 0 and sine of pi z is my 0. The value of this obtained is sine is a comma a. From this case, pi of z is my n pi, where n is my integers. This implies z is equal to a, and pi will be cancelled. So z is equal to a, and n are the poles of the function fz. Now your target is to check about the z is equal to a. So since it occurred 2 times, so is a pole of order 2. Fine. And z is equal to infinity. So clearly say if I take z is equal to infinity, so once is infinity, we can say this is the essential singular. Look at the next one. Examine the singularity of the function e raised to power minus 1 over z square. So clearly say z is equal to 0 is the singularity. But can you say z is equal to 0 is the singularity? We will firstly check what is the f of 0. E raised to power minus 1 over 0. It is e raised to power minus infinity, which is 0, which is a finite answer. That means z is equal to 0 is my not singularity. This is not a singularity. Fine. Or in other words, how you can analyze that? I can consider f of z is my 1 over e raised to power 1 over z square. Fine. Now there is no need to expand the denominator. You can find the pole of the fz. That means 1 over z square is my 0. Can you find any value of the z so that this becomes a 0? This implies there does not exist any z such that e raised to power 1 over z square is 0. So once there is no z appears, that means the function is my analytic. That means there is no pole and there is no singularity. That means the function is my analytic. Look at the second. Examine the nature of the singularities. Firstly, check whether 0 is the singularity or not. Clearly say this is my 0 by 0 form. Yes, this is my singularity. In this case, you can easily see I can write as a 1 minus. Fine. Now, I can easily expand the series of the sine z. So, it will be z cube z minus z cube over 3 factorial z raised to power 5 over 5 factorial and so on. Fine. Now if you open this bracket, now I can open this z cube, it is a 1 over 3 factorial minus z square over 5 factorial and so on. Now once you can expand the series, try to analyze the coefficient, try to analyze the terms of the z raised to power n. And if you look about that, there is no terms associated with the 1 over z raised to power n. What does it mean? That means z is equal to 0 is my removable singularity. Or in your competition examinations, you can see z approaches 0 of the f of z will give you the finite answer that is itself implies is a removable singularity. Look at the next question. If show that the function is isolated singularities of the z raised to power n. What does the meaning of the isolated singularities? I can prove that z raised to power n involve the infinitely many terms. Fine. Now, look at that. F of z is my e raised to power z. But here, your target is to find at z is equal to infinity. So, whenever there is a z is infinity, you can take the substitution as 1, z is 1 over u. What does it implies? Z is equal to 0, z is equal to infinity gives u is equal to 0. So I can analyze the behaviors at the point u is equal to 0, which is equivalently meaning that z is equal to infinity. So I can substitute the value of the z is 1 over u. Fine. Because why? Because simple. Because if you try to expand the series, it is 1 plus z square over 2 factorial and so on. And your target is to write the terms as 1 over z raised to power n in terms of the infinity. That means your target is to check the terms associated with this coefficient 1 z minus infinity. Fine. So which is not possible. Now I can simply take z is equal to 1 over u. Now you can expand the series. 1 plus 1 over u plus 1 over u square over 2 factorial and so on. Now clearly say 1 over u raised to power n. It involves infinitely many terms associated. So that means 1 over, I can write this is u minus 0 raised to power n. Fine. So that means u is equal to 0 is my essential singularities. Once you know that it's isolated essential singularities corresponding to the u is equal to 0, I can say z is equal to infinity is my isolated essential singularity. Fine. So this is the way you can solve these singularities and identify this nature. Make sure students, this is the first method. I tell you how you can find the isolated singularity. There is one more method for the isolated singularities that is based on the limit point of the zeros and pole that we will discuss in our next lectures very soon. Till then, you can like, share and comment on this video. Best of luck students, and don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel. Happy learning. Best of luck students.